What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching another one of my YouTube videos. I am officially back in Seattle and excited to be home, especially with everything that's going on right now. But yeah, I want to go ahead and get into these like Aries season readings. How was your Pisces season, by the way? I know a lot of energy is like shifting right now. A lot of big changes going on. We're literally in between eclipse season right now, so um, yeah, we've got big shifts. We're in eclipse season. We have Venus and Mercury retrograde. We have another eclipse coming up in Aries soon, and we're about to step into Aries season. So it's an interesting time where the new vision or the new inspiration is here, but the old karma is still burning away, right? So we're being rebirthed, but there's still something that we need to lovingly wrap up right before we can fully like get started on this new journey. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull tarot cards for the first half of Aries season, starting on March 20th. We're gonna pull 6 cards at least from the tarot, and we'll pull clarifiers along the way as we need. And then we're also going to pull a card from the animal spirit, because that's just what I've been doing so far with these readings. So yeah. I just want to put it in a disclaimer as well. This is like a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everybody. I always like to put my intention or set my intention so that those who come across this reading, whether I'm doing it live or they come across like the replay or the upload on YouTube, that whoever is coming across this particular video is receiving messages. So I always ask Spirit to kind of connect in that regard. So hopefully whoever is watching this video, whenever you're watching it, you are resonating with the messages that come through. What I wanted to say is that these are general messages, so it's harder to pull the story together when I'm not reading for just one specific person, because there could be so many ways that this energy is manifesting. So yeah, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't resonate, and obviously if you're interested in receiving a personal reading from me, you can reach out to me throughout my social media profiles or whatever. So let's go ahead and pull the cards for the spread. We're doing the rainbow spread. We're going to start off with the life. We go into the healing. We go into the sunlight, which is the successes or achievements we can expect. We go into the grounding. We go into the serenity, how you can experience more peace. And then we get a message from the spirit at the very end. So we're going to start off with the life portion. This is going to be the main energy that we're experiencing right now. How we are coming into Aries season at this moment. Spirit, please connect with those of the energies of the collective and bring forth prominent messages for them for the beginning of Aries season. What may we be experiencing at this time? How can we continue to connect with our highest good and move with the energy of spirit? So what are we experiencing stepping into Aries season? First and foremost, we're coming through with the Two of Cups. What is the energy that is healing right now at the beginning of Aries season? The Ace of Swords. Okay. What is the success, the sunlight, the achievement? What successes or achievements can we expect through the first half of Aries season? The Lovers. This is a pretty interesting spread so far. So what is keeping us grounded at this time? How are we staying grounded this first half of Aries season? We got the Three of Swords. How can we expect more peace or cultivate more peace, serenity at this time? The Three of Wands in the reverse. And then the last card is the message from Spirit. Anything you want us to know or be aware of at this time? The Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So I'm going to go ahead and say that while we're going through this reading, I'm definitely going to be pulling clarifiers because we've got some big energies here. We've got one major arcana, but then we also have two aces. And we have like this juicy like Two of Cups energy that's coming through as well. So let's get started here. We are starting with the life position, and I hope the lighting is going to be fine because I do not have the ring light out right now. But stepping into Aries season, we're coming through with this Two of Cups first and foremost. So for a lot of people, this could be connecting with a new like individual on a deeper like emotional level, right? A heart space level, a like emotional fulfillment, satisfaction level, very nurturing, very supporting, very safe. If this is not about connecting to another person, like an actual person in your life, this could be a new way that you're connecting with yourself, your own like emotional space, heart space, intuition. Yeah, just generally connecting with your more, I want to say spiritual, but it's more like an emotional side of yourself. So that is the main focus stepping into Aries season. I'm going to pull a clarifier here just to see or get more specific to what this is. I'll also say with the Two of Cups, this is just synchronicities in general, right? So whenever I see this, this is some type of spiritual, emotional, intuitive like feedback or receptivity that we're receiving from like the universe. So that if it's not a romantic situation or a connection with another person, it could also be just like this feeling of experiencing synchronicities, this feeling of experiencing moments where you are being like validated or acknowledged by the universe. You know, this is like coincidences or deja vu's or, you know, messages that come through in like dreams. So let's have a clarifier with this Two of Cups. What more is coming through with this Two of Cups at the beginning of Aries season for the collective? The Empress in the reverse. Interesting, interesting, interesting. You know, the Empress is very much this card of expansion. I think this came out in the last reading for the second half of Pisces season. Also in this like first position where it's like one of the main focuses that we're coming into at the time. But yes, the Empress card, it's like this energy of birth, it's fertility, it's abundance in like resources and materials and, you know, plants, life, all of that. It's very fertile, it's very open, you know what I mean? And so when the Empress is coming through, it's actually coming through in the reverse as a clarifier to this Two of Cups that's coming in. And so, you know, it's interesting to have the Empress come through in the reverse because, on one hand, like, it could express, like, being, like, overindulgent, you know, being, like, expansive to your own detriment, right? So this would be, like, overeating or overspending or being, like, hedonistic in any, you know, way, shape, or form. I think the message here that's coming through at the beginning of Aries season, and it really connects with the Venus and Mercury retrograde in Aries that's going on right now, is that there is a redefining of like our values that's going on at the moment, right? And so I think with this Empress coming through in the reverse as a influence to this Two of Cups, we're kind of getting this like feedback where of where we need to like cut back, you know, where we need to stop like overdoing it. Essentially, there's some aspect, some, you know, situation in our lives that feels good, right? It feels pleasurable, but if it's left unchecked, it could kind of derail us from kind of where we're going, you know? Too much, sometimes too much is too much, you know? And there is a need to kind of rein in that hedonistic or longing type of energy where we just want so much, so much, so much that it takes over us or, you know, it harms us in some type of way. So, like I'm saying, with this Two of Cups, being influenced with this Empress in the reverse, there's more like feedback emotionally, like in your spirit, in your body, where you're realizing that you need to cut back on certain indulgences in certain ways that you are just insatiable. And whatever that is specifically for you, you'll know. But yeah, there's a certain way that we just feel it like in our heart or just like um, you know, certain feedback that we're even getting like from our actual bodies when we overindulge in certain things. So that's one of the main focuses that's coming through as we start Aries season, is where do we need to cut back on certain things that we have been overindulging in, just having too much excess, more, where we're having that like more is more mentality. There's a certain like feedback or certain type of awareness or message that comes through. And it even could be like an epiphany, but definitely come to like having like dreams or like certain synchronicities or things like that, that kind of confirms that you need to cut back in this particular area. All right, so healing, we are moving on to this Ace of Swords in the healing position for the beginning of Aries season, which is like the first 2 weeks of Aries season. And so there is some type of like clarity or insight that's coming through for us right now. Swords represents thoughts, perceptions, communication, just the way that we kind of create meaning logically out of things, right? And swords could also represent like your own like truth, your own personal truth. But as far as what is healing throughout this first 2 weeks of Aries season, there is, some type of clarity or some type of mindset that is coming to the forefront, that is being like reworked or being whatever other word you can use for healed. What more can we say with this Ace of Swords coming through for the healing in Aries season? The Ten of Swords in the reverse. Wow. That's powerful to have this ace influenced by this Ten of Swords in the reverse. I think what is healing for a lot of us in the collective right now is whatever like old, dead like mindset has needed to be released, and we've been struggling to kind of let go of it, right? And that's kind of what I was saying like at the beginning of this reading, is that the new inspiration is here, but the old karma still has to burn off. Excuse me. So when you have the Ten of Swords, this is always like the energy of being down and out, hitting rock bottom. Sometimes people say that it is like feeling like backstabbed, but it's a 10, so it's the end of a particular like journey, a particular cycle in the way that we've been creating meaning out of certain things, the way that we have processed things, or any type of like particular mindsets or truth or beliefs that we've had. So the issue has been that we've been at this end of this thought pattern, we've been at this end of this perspective or this belief, but we still haven't quite let our actions show up, the way that like we embody our ideas. And so at the beginning of Aries season, it feels like our minds are fully starting to like click into basically our goals or these new desires or these new values that we are desiring to embody and desiring to bring forward now that we're stepping into Aries season. There is a way that we were having trouble finally like allowing ourselves to let go mentally of like whatever old version of ourselves that is continuing to keep us, I don't want to say stuck, but it's not been letting us move on mentally to this new chapter, so coming into Aries season, I feel like there's going to be an experience that comes through for a lot of us that represents some type of synchronicity or represents some type of validation or some type of like energy of feeling seen, of feeling understood by like the universe, by spirit. And it is basically a confirmation of these things that we desire to cut back on, right? These things that we desire to minimize. That could be like whatever type of like habits that we have, even with like food and health too, comes through with the Empress card, because it is like Taurus type energy. It's Venusian, Taurian, physical energy. So once that type of event or epiphany or just validation, acknowledgement, spiritual acknowledgement comes through, then we're able to like turn our mind around. You know what I mean? To finally be able to let this old idea or old, yeah, thought pattern, way of thinking die, and start bringing in new ideas or new communication or new perspectives, right? New ways of seeing things. Okay, so the sunlight. This is gonna be like the highlights, whatever achievements that we have coming towards us during this first half of Aries season. We have got the Lovers card. So this is the major in our spread. Before we had pulled the Three of Pentacles. I meant to say the Empress. But the Lovers card, it's a card about choice. It's a card about decisions. It's like new paths that are opening up before us. And do we go down this road even though we know we're not quite sure what's on the other side? Whenever the Lovers card comes up, I explain that this card is a counterpart to the Devil card, where the Lovers represents an unfamiliar heaven of some sort, and the Devil represents the familiar hell. It represents a sort of comfort zone or a way that we stay committed to toxic habits, situations, people, patterns, because we know what we're gonna get out of that, right? So when the Lovers comes up, it's you're feeling this new portal open up to you, but you're still a little bit hesitant. You're still a little bit scared, just because you don't have the comfort of knowing exactly how this is going to land, exactly how this is going to play out. But I would still say that this, the Lovers, when this comes up, it has a much more positive or a much more hopeful connotation than the Devil card, because with the Devil, you're choosing to stay in something that's already like not dead, but keeping you held back. It's toxic, and it's not helping you progress and move on, but you know what you're going to get out of that. So if you know that you are going to be tortured, then why do you continue to choose torture? If you have a portal opening up before you where you possibly have an ability to experience some type of bliss, even though you don't know what's on the other side of that, I feel like moving towards that unknown is better than knowing that you're going to be unhappy, right? So this Lovers card, this is a success. This is a highlight for the first half of Aries season. So it feels like there's a new path that's opening up. What more can we say with this Lovers card coming through for the sunlight? Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I think this came out in the last spread as well, for the second half of Pisces season, and maybe in the same position. But I like this, considering the eclipses that we have going on in Virgo and Pisces right now. And, we actually had the Virgo eclipse already. That was before Aries season started. And then the second eclipse that we're going to have during this particular eclipse season, before we get into the fall, this next eclipse is going to be the very last eclipse in Aries. I think that this combination of the Lovers and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse is more so a reflection of this lunar eclipse, this full moon lunar eclipse that we had in Virgo last week, because it's taking us out of this ability to kind of have control over I guess like our goals in a type of way, because Virgo is an earth sign, right, which is all about consistency, discipline, resources, stability, structure, those types of things. There's a certain level of control and needing to know before you feel comfortable investing into something, that really exists within that Virgo or earth sign archetype. But with the eclipses, especially with the South Node in Virgo, it's taking us away from that Virgo side of like certainty and organization and clarity, and kind of thrusting us into more of the Pisces, which is the opposite energy of Virgo, which is much more so about faith and intuition and like the unknown, and kind of tapping into that energetic consciousness, you know? So here's the success, right? Sorry, I'm just I'm just thinking a little bit. Um, yeah, with the lovers, there is a new path, a new opportunity that's opening up, and to have this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse as a clarifier or informing this Lovers card, it almost feels like there is this way that we don't have to necessarily like work as hard or be as like perfectionistic, or um, even like kill ourselves over like the consistency of something, right? The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. Pentacles, like I said, it's all about that like day to day effort that's put in to like grow a particular goal. And the knight already has some skin in the game for sure. Um, but when the knight shows up in the reverse, there feels like a stalling or like a plateau or like a like false promises type of energy. So it just feels like, I don't know, through whatever challenge that we feel like, or whatever stagnation that we might be feeling like we're having with our like tangible goals that we're trying to build towards. Maybe within this type of stagnation, there is a new path that opens up. Um, that we're allowed to like lean into, and not necessarily have feel like we have to like know exactly what's going on, or feel like we are like super, I don't know, there's a responsibility aspect to this as well. Hmm. That one's interesting. I think the success is, you know, this new path that's opening up for us, that we don't have to try so hard for, that we don't have to like, yeah, like I said, like kill ourselves over the consistency, or kill ourselves over like the fine details over. Okay, so in the grounding, we are coming up with the Three of Swords. Somebody says hello, hello VS 2629. I think I'm seeing that correctly. So the Three of Swords is coming up in the energy that is going to keep us grounded within the first half of Aries season. And, you know, I know the Three of Swords is kind of like a hard card to see, right? There's not a lot of positive connotation with the Three of Swords. Are you a fortune teller? I wouldn't necessarily describe myself as a fortune teller, but I do tarot readings. Right now I'm doing a general reading for the first half of Aries season, which we're beginning tomorrow. Um, so this is just kind of what we're experiencing for the first 2 weeks of Aries season. So, continuing on with this Three of Swords energy, it represents like separation. You know, it represents some type of sacrifice, some type of disappointment. And I think the imagery is interesting because the three swords pierce like the heart in this card, which definitely brings forward that type of like emotional disappointment aspect of it all. But it is a swords card, where swords is about our thoughts, swords is about logic rather than emotion. So there is a certain like acceptance, like level of acceptance that also comes through with the Three of Swords to me, where it's like, even though we have to cut something out, even though we have to sacrifice something and it hurts, there is a logic behind this. There is a necessity to cutting away whatever this thing is, you know? And that, of course, does not negate the pain, but it really just feels like it is a sacrifice that's needed, right? I think this is coming through as the grounding, because when we're walking on this new path, you know, it's really hard to sit in the discomfort when you're going down a path where you don't know where you're going to end up. You know, you don't know what is on the other side of this new journey that we're embarking on. But like I said, this feels like the old karma that is still needing to be burnt off. So it's like, even though we've let go of something, right? We finally cut something out, and it's hard to kind of move forward with the things that we've let go, but we know the purpose behind it, right? We know that the purpose of letting this thing go is so that we can experience something new that's possibly much better for us. You know, it's being completely over the position that we've been in, and being much more willing to, like I said, sit in that discomfort, cut this thing out, even though we don't have something fulfilling or something immediately satisfying to replace that energy. So yeah, so in order to stay grounded, this is like, remember what you are like working for. You know, remember what you cut this out for. Remember what you're sacrificing for. We've got this Four of Cups that wanted to come out through here. It feels like at this moment, some people may be realizing that there are like social groups, like social connections, friends, networks, or just any type of social experience or area where you feel like disconnected from. Some of us are having to sacrifice that one, which is hard, you know, to almost feel like you are on the outside of your friend groups now, because there is some particular way that you no longer engage. It feels like there is some way that we are having to restrain ourselves. You know, this type of energy is like when you decide to do something that is going to be like healing for you and only you, and you associate, or your friend group takes part in this activity that was harming you. It's like now you have to, you know, have boundaries around those things, and make sure that you stay away from certain behaviors or habits, communities, for your own good. You know, and you miss these people. It's hard to be on the outside of these groups that used to be like, you know, your friends, your support, your enjoyment. But there is some way, or some, yeah, there's some way that we've redefined our values and redefined what is fulfilling to us, that puts us now in a position where we have to create boundaries and make sure we are staying within the new like framework that we're creating for ourselves, if that makes sense. You know, if there is a new way that you are understanding yourself and taking care of yourself, you have to let go of the old people that represent that old version of you, you know, and have the potential to kind of take you back into that old pattern. So, moving on to the serenity portion. How can we experience more peace, more serenity at this time? We're coming up with the Three of Wands in reverse. And this is interesting because this is not necessarily a card that you want to have, right? Because Wands is fire energy. It's all about our passion. It's about the things that we're excited about, the things that are fun, the things that, you know, we get out of bed for. You know, this is all about action. This is about passion. This is about enjoyment. This is about vitality. When you have the Three of Wands, this is a person who is like waiting for some type of potential to come through. But I feel like the waiting aspect of this is emphasized with this three, because this person kind of looks out longingly, wondering if they're going to kind of receive, if that excitement is going to come to them, is going to hit them. To get this in the reverse, it kind of sucks, because you're just like waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're like, is this thing ever gonna come? Or you just flat out got denied, right? It's a flat out no, it's not coming at all. So this is what is this energetic archetype is here for us to experience more peace, right? So it's interesting, um, because it feels like there is a certain like way that we need to um, accept that everything that we move towards right now may not materialize in the way that we want it to, or um, even though we're ready to go down this new exciting path, like if it doesn't work out the way that you wanted it to work out, that doesn't mean it's bad, or that doesn't mean that it was wrong for you to go down this path, right? You're still having this wands energy, which is very important. There is still a level of passion or desire that we need to be connected to at this time, even if this thing that we're passionate about doesn't always provide us with the with like the win, or with the success, or with the immediate gratification, how can I say this? It's like, so take it with me, like, outside of doing readings, I also do like roller skate performance, right? And so say there was like, something, an event that I really wanted to perform at, when I throw my name in the hat, and I don't get selected for the event. That doesn't mean I hate skating now. You know what I mean? This doesn't mean that I'm not going to stop. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop skating just because I didn't get this particular validation, or this particular, yes, while I was chasing, or chasing or participating in this passion of mine. It's like, just because you don't get the attention doesn't mean that it's not for you, or this thing is can't be fulfilling for you. I feel like that's an important thing to say. I'm gonna pull a clarifier here. What more can we say about this Three of Wands in the reverse, as far as how we can cultivate more peace at this time, more serenity? The Moon card. The Moon card speaks to subconscious shifts, subconscious energies that are like flowing within us, that are coming up basically to be acknowledged, right? Okay. I think what's going on here with this Three of Wands in the reverse and this Moon card, in regards to how we can experience more peace at this time, is that there is a message that's coming through when we get like denied for something, or when something that we're excited about doesn't come through for us. Whenever that happens, and there's something that goes on inside of your emotional space, like, that energy is calling to be like explored. It's calling to be acknowledged at this time. And so I feel like there is something there that we're going to like possibly understand, in regards to like the things that we're passionate about, and whether or not we sustain those passions, if we feel like they are validated or not, It's like there could be something that you absolutely like love to do, and then the second that somebody like embarrasses you for it or like calls you out or something like that and you stop doing it, that's not how that's supposed to work, you know? So um I think there is a certain level of understanding and a certain level of peace that can be cultivated now when we realize that just because we don't get some sort of validation or attention or hype for this path or this endeavor that we desire to put our energy into, like even if other people aren't into that or if other people think it's dumb, that's not going to shake you anymore, you know? Because what is really important is that it's something that you resonate with, right? It's something that you love. It's something that you want to put your energy into. It doesn't matter if other people think it's cool that you put your energy into that. What matters is that you're satisfied for doing what you desire to do. So I think, yeah, that there is a subconscious understanding that is finally going to be coming through for us, especially in this first half of Aries season, where we're really connecting with, doing the things that we want to do, even if there is not necessarily some sort of reward for doing that. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, the last message that's coming through is from Spirit. This is the message of Spirit. Anything that Spirit wants us to know or be aware of at this time. We've got this Ace of Pentacles coming through in the reverse. Interesting. Aces definitely represent like new opportunities that are being presented to us, but you have to grab them in order to do something with that, right? With this Ace of Pentacles in the reverse coming through, it almost feels like there is an old opportunity that may be coming back to us at this time. With the first half of Aries season, like maybe there was something that we missed out on before that we didn't commit to, that, has an opportunity to be chosen again or committed to again. And it's really interesting with this Ace of Pentacles because it's coming up underneath this Lover's card and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So I really feel like there's a big connection because this is the success, right? So maybe this path that came through in the past is opening up again, right? And it's interesting to have this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse because it almost feels like we were already going down this path, like we were already stepping towards this path because we were feeling called towards it, but then like almost like you got cold feet, or there was some way that this was not a socially acceptable decision or way to go, right? So it's like you were building up momentum slowly towards this thing, but then we stopped, right? It didn't fully manifest because we let go of it. We stopped investing into it. But now, at the beginning of Aries season, it really feels like we're reconnecting with our own personal desire, right? With the things that we want because we love them, because we resonate with them, And so it's your opportunity now to reinvest into this path that is once again opening up for you. So interesting. What more can we see with this Ace of Pentacles in the reverse for the first half of the Aries season? I don't know why I put the card all the way over there. But we got the Two of Swords. And what more can we say? Let's pull one more. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So in addition to this Ace of Pentacles reverse, we've got the Two of Swords. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Y'all, this is interesting. I think that's interesting. How many? I need to have a counter for how many times I say interesting, right? With this opportunity that's coming back towards us, I think there is a decision making that's happening, right? We do have this Lover's card that's right on top of here, and then now we're coming through also with this Two of Swords. So I feel like whatever opportunity that is coming back towards us with this first half of Aries season, decisions still need to be made, right? I think that we're still feeling called towards this thing because it's coming back to us. Um, but now, as far as deciding on whether or not like you are going to reinvest into this, there are a few things to consider. Um, you definitely want to consider how much has already been built up in this situation, which is coming through with this Seven of Pentacles, right? Because no matter what, I feel like in regards to this new opportunity or this path that's coming back around for us, like I said, there has been some elements of um, effort or consistency that has been built up in this direction, which never fully panned out. So it's almost like, do you want to, um, do you feel like what has been built up so far in this direction is worth continuing to grow, right? Um, or not? I think that's what this is about. But I also feel like with this Two of Swords, there also may be an emotional aspect that you may be trying to kind of ignore. And if you're not trying to ignore it, it's almost more so that you're trying to like push it a little bit further to, the back. You're trying to push it a little bit behind your logic as far as priority in regards to making this decision. I would say that, especially because we also have the moon coming out in this spread and the Two of Cups coming out, that whatever emotional aspect of this decision needs to have at least an equal level of priority in regards to the logical processing of this situation, of this opportunity for you, because it's interesting that we're trying to separate the emotion and the logic, because with the other cards around this spread, this Ace of Pentacles, this opportunity that's coming back to you, this Knight of Pentacles, this momentum that we had already built up in this direction, and the Seven of Pentacles, reiterating that there was something already built up here. It feels like the logic of this decision is really supporting, honestly, recommitting to this, or actually committing to this, because there is like foundations that are built up here, like tangible foundation that has been built up here. And so the only reason I would feel like that there is still a hesitancy is because you are not letting this emotion also play a part here, right? So I think the logic is saying there is something that's already built up here. I should move towards this, but the emotion is holding you back in some regard. It definitely has to do with your desire. So I think you're weighing out your desire and the logic here. It's like, do I still want this? And am I willing to recommit to what I have already built up in this direction? So that's what I'm seeing with the tarot. Oh my gosh, I try to keep these as short as possible, but it's a lot of cards, so of course it's going to go on pretty long. So let's pull an animal spirit and just get the very last message here. Listen, if you stick through these readings, kudos to you. I am a person who loves long content. So I don't mind like watching a 45-minute, hour and a half minute video. But I know most of y'all probably just don't have the attention span. So from the animal spirit, what's coming through? The vulture. Interesting. Oh, there's the interesting word again. Vultures, they are, what do you call them? They're not bottom feeders, but they eat things that are like already dead, right? I don't know why bottom feeder is the only word that's wanting to come to my mind. Like, that specifically refers to aquatic animals. Okay. Vulture. Guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, it clarifies, reveals wisdom. When out of balance, it's dramatic and aggressive. It says to bring it to balance, clean your space, or sage. Yes, so it says clarifies and reveals wisdom. I definitely feel like that is a big theme going on with the beginning of Aries season, especially with this Ace of Swords coming through on top of this moon card. There is some clarity that's coming through for all of us, especially within our subconscious, like, reactions, like our subconscious actions and reactions. What things that we move towards and what things that we give up on based off of whether or not we feel validated in those pursuits, right? If we feel validated in those desires, if other people think that what we like is stupid, some people shy away from that. It's not a time to do that anymore, right? Because there is an opportunity for you to once again, like, go down a path that you have been dreaming of going down, right? Go down this road that is so inspiring toward for you that we may have given up on due to whatever, I guess, like, social situation has, like, held us back, like social conditioning even that has held us back. So I really feel like, you know, for this Aries, beginning of Aries season, this is a chance to reconnect with ourselves, reconnect with our desires, reconnect with our heart space, reconnect with the things that we think are important, that we think are fun, that we think is exciting, and finish off this goal that we've been working towards, that we wanted to complete for whatever long time, that we feel like is finally coming back around for us. So that's what I see for the beginning of Aries season. If you stuck with this, thank you. You're incredible. You're amazing. Definitely give me a like if you like this. Subscribe if you want to see more of the readings or Tarotscopes per season in the future. Definitely let me know what you're experiencing right now with these eclipses, with these retrogrades, with stepping into Aries season. And then also comment down. Oh, I think that I just told you to do that. That might be the last thing to do. So yeah, thanks again, y'all, and I'll be back in 2 weeks for the mid-season Tarotscope for Aries season. All right, bye.